And go.
Yes,
Good
we're into it.
afternoon, ladies and
Morning.
gentlemen. Good
11
morning.
o'clock.
Dude, it's afternoon my time. I've been awake for an hour and a half. Good
It's
afternoon.
11:17.
And welcome here to the Cloth5 Podcast. I'm joined today by my co-hosts, none other than Lindsay Amoral Ferguson, Adrian Oberon Montenegro, Charlie Livesey, and Rick Mango Riley, and of course myself, Daniel Lee Glamond. This is arguably one of the most premier podcasts in League of Legends history. Where,
History.
yeah, history.
I'd
Can argue it at least.
Yeah.
And now we begin. Hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome. Good morning,
Hello.
evening, afternoon, everyone. Hello, stream. We have a couple of things on our agenda today. The first of which being to recap PAX Adventures and all of the shenanigans that happened at the North American Regionals at PAX Prime in Seattle last weekend. 2 weekends ago. Wow, 2 weekends ago?
2 weekends ago, yeah.
Wow.
2 weeks?
weekends
Yeah, it
ago.
was 2 weekends. Holy.
Jeez. Right? Oh my god, where's
Oh
time
my
going?
I work too much.
Ah.
Lindsay, you went to PAX.
I did
Tell
went
us
to
about
PAX.
your adventures.
Well, I was working at the Wargaming booth helping them out with World of Warplanes, so sadly I couldn't, walk around or watch any of the NA regionals, which made me a sad panda. However, I did have a Twitter stream to follow, so I was lucky there. But I did go up and talk to people after it was done. It was great. I met Quickstrike of the Cloth5 team. He's very nice. He is,
Intimidating.
I would say. I cried. I may have wet myself. Also, he is like a sad panda too. It was great. And from my recollections, I think Cloth9 won. I mean, not Cloth9. Why do we say Cloth9 in the notes?
Why not? I mean, we're
Cloud. So Cloud9
They're just
won
our
everything.
team.
Oh,
we're well on the way to get the
Yeah.
sponsorship. Everyone knows that.
We're working on it.
we got that market cornered. Done. So we have a couple of things to talk about for PAX. Who wants to help me dive into this? We have Cloud9 wins everything, the end. And then we're going to talk about
Again.
CLG versus TSM. Again with the sad panda theme coming back.
TSM.
TSM. We called it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We
Last
totally
week.
did.
Oh God.
Hi, my name's Ron Burgundy. So, and then we're going to talk about Freak's chin strap, apparently. Where did it go? Apparently it turned into his manly beard. Did you guys watch or read the broadcaster AMA on Reddit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I read
awesome.
a little bit of it.
Yeah, that was really cool.
For the shoutcasters, that was cool. So, we're deleting that. So, who would like to go? Brief recap.
Cloud9 wins everything. TSM is the best. Somehow Vulcan lost again. COG always finishing second, constantly losing games. COG. Don't hate me. Mango's over there trying not to murder me.
Well, they finished fifth, first of all.
Dignitas beat Curse again,
They did.
which we also called Lindsay. You and I are the
did.
best.
We are the best. We should just
I will
start betting on
send you a recording of this YouTube video. It's amazing. And then, so TSM versus CLG. Let's start there, and then we'll jump back to how Cloud9 just somehow manages to win everything.
Let's do that.
I think TSM played really well.
The end.
There's no arguing it. I mean, they beat CLG after they were 0-4 in the season, so obviously they just need to go through whatever they went through with the Reginald and Dyrus breakdown. And then they got the business, and they won, and there's no arguing results. They went in, and they dominated CLG. It wasn't even close in either of the games.
I think I remember reading that TSM is one of the, they have some of the team with the most people who have been to all of the World Championships.
Yeah, they've been to all three of the World Championships.
Of the three.
Yeah, 3 of the 3. 3 out of 3, 100%. And then out of their members, I think 4 have been to all 3 of them. The only one who has not is Wild Turtle.
That's correct. So Special, Dyrus, Odd One, and Reggie?
Yes.
Yes. So that, I think, would lend itself very much to dealing with a lot of pressure, a lot of, especially live, there's a lot of factors that go into it. There's a huge screaming mob out there. If you anger them, there's a real danger that they could, turn into a stampede and trample you to death. But really, though, they have a cool under pressure. And so for me, it was really no shock, and also to League as well, that they of course would win. the regionals. But a lot of things go into performance, I guess. So there we
They're
have it.
definitely a very experienced team.
Yes, that
Um,
really lends itself.
Right. I think that makes them a very hard team to play against when you're going into things like world regionals or finals and stuff because of the fact that they have been around for a long time and they do know what they're doing.
Yes.
It's true. Going off that win against CLG, they broke the one streak against CLG 04. They might be able to break the streak against Korea of like 0-12 or whatever it is now.
It's like 015.
0-15.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Are you,
Well,
Yeah,
at least
it
the odds are in your favor.
Yeah, it is.
are you
Well, they might be able
equating
to pull it off.
CLG to a Korean team?
Wow.
We're saying-
No.
Wow,
We're saying TSM versus
a
Korean
reach.
teams. CLG has
Yeah,
beat
no.
Korean teams.
I know,
Yeah,
but he
like-
said since they
No,
won
no,
0-4
I'm
against
saying-
CLG.
Well, it's like the same concept. They're in a terrible losing streak, and they just pony up and win. Maybe they can pull it off this year against the Korean team. Who knows? We'll
I
see.
know. It's not gonna
Do
happen.
you? Okay.
Zero faith.
You don't think so?
Zero faith.
Zero faith.
Zero faith.
I support my home country, which is not NA.
Which is
Yeah,
not in it.
I don't think it's Korea either.
yeah. I was about to say,
It's not.
Aren't you Chinese? Wait a second.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's go talk about Cloud9 then and how they just kind of showed up. I mean, they have to not, like we said this before, they have to not show up in order to lose. So
Well, I want to talk about the Cloud9 versus TSM finals,
let's do
especially on TSM part, about how they ran like double damage
it. Yeah.
competitions with top and mid with either Karthus, Oriana, Zed Rumble, or Zed Ori. That's I mean I personally don't like that composition because some of those are really weak early laners. Like Oriana needs time to ramp up, Karthus needs time to ramp up, and C9 is known for the early aggression, winning the game early, not letting the game get to the late game. Like I don't understand why they would pick something that's so weak in the early game against Cloud9.
Yeah,
So
also
I,
if you're
I
gonna go
expected
with,
them to
like,
get stomped.
Yeah.
if you're gonna go with double damage like that, you have to be running something that isn't about team fighting. Like Cloud9 has one of the best team fighting like phases in all of NA. And if you're running something like double damage, you should be running something like a split push or like a pick composition to like take advantage of all that. But instead, TSM they just push their lanes a little bit and they grouped and they're just slaughtered by all of Cloud9 in team fights.
Right. It's not even like TSM played badly in the Cloud9 games. Like they weren't making any large mistakes. They weren't getting like crazy outplayed. They just got outcomped. Like they were playing hyper aggression late game comps that would have won if the games probably went on like another 15-20 minutes. But Cloud9 just like took control like they normally do, set the pace like they normally do, and just went all according to plan and beat TSM that way.
So
Like,
this is a classic example then of like them losing at picks and bans. Is that what
Well,
I'm understanding? 'Cause
yeah,
it's-
like-
I don't
it's about
think they
composition.
lost at picks and bans. It is about composition, but what they needed to do was they needed to stall the game. And so
Right.
they didn't necessarily lose at picks and bans. They could have won late game if they'd managed to get it that far. The problem is Cloud9 very rarely lets any game go to late game. They're known for winning games in like 34 minutes or less.
See,
I
think
So when you pick late game comps, you have to understand that you're going to have to play like a pro, like extremely high level play style in order to actually get to late game against
Yeah.
Cloud9.
I agree.
well, to do that, you need a really good jungler who has control the whole map in early game to protect your lanes. Something like Dandy does for Ozone, right? But the problem against C9 is you want to pick strong laners and who are really good at skirmishes, so you don't lose out in the early game.
Yes.
And really good level 1, as Vulcan has showed us over and over again, that you can defeat Cloud9 if you catch him at level 1.
Right, well, CLG did the same thing. If you manage
Yep.
to catch Cloud9 out at level 1, they happen to fall apart. It was the same thing against OMG, the Royals OMG game that took place this last week. Like, OMG got caught out that first game. And then ended up losing game 1 from the Aatrox queue over the wall. And so it seems to be that way. People who play really well into the mid game, like Cloud9 or OMG, who have really aggressive early game, tend to lose if they lose their level 1.
So what does that say for Cloud9 then going into Worlds? Like I've read a thread on Reddit again about it was a Korean translation about Cloud9 and how Meteos is an herbivore jungler and that really against Korean teams they really don't stand a chance. Like
It all
See,
matters on the
that's
level
not
one.
that's not necessarily true because if you look at Cloud Templar, who's known for being a passive jungler, except now he's a little more aggressive, but he's still not as
Yeah.
aggressive as other junglers, and they still did really well, regardless of their not being to Worlds.
they
Right?
yeah, okay. So they were saying that Meteos is kind of like an early Cloud Templar or an early Saint Vicious, like before they became more aggressive. Like they were kind of passive and they have to evolve. Is that what I'm understanding?
Okay, the thing I think they're missing about that is the difference between Saint Vicious and Meteos is Saint Vicious just farms, right? He
Yeah.
literally just farms. Well, Meteos farms lane, not the jungle.
Right.
The Meteos pushes the lanes while he's farming them, but Saint Vicious just farms the jungle.
Got it.
Right.
I think that's a big difference between the two.
Well, I mean, Meteos also knows how to use Smite, so
Well, that helps. I mean, he doesn't flash level
Too
1
soon,
either,
too
so
soon.
yeah, beneficial. I mean, I think what Meteos has that is different from what the Korean teams are looking at is I think his map presence is stronger than someone like Saint Vicious. And he has the ability to be around the map and where he needs to be in terms of ganks and stuff more than like Saint Vicious does.
I would agree with that.
So while he doesn't gank as much, his ganks are very strategically placed.
And so how do you think that'll go against in Worlds? Like
If they get caught out level 1, that's done.
It's-
The Korean teams are going to snowball harder than any
No.
North American team is
I
capable of.
think the Korean teams and Chinese teams will just win during laning phase. I think they were more aggressive and better mechanics in general.
Yeah, because you have to remember that Cloud9's only weakness thus far has been in the laning phase. Like, they're known for
Right.
exceeding in all other parts of the game, but just during laning phase that they're most susceptible to, like, dying in lane.
No,
So,
I
if
still
we
believe
sort of, like-
Vulcan.
oh
I
yeah,
still think Vulcan's solo laners are stronger. Like I
Yeah.
still think Psycho Sid and Mancrod are a stronger pair than High and Balls. Like they're not bad by any means. But,
Okay,
terms
but
of
then
laning
think about their
mechanics.
bot lane. Zuna
Yeah,
is
then you
not the
have
best AD
Zuna.
carry.
Well, that's a different story. The big man is the big Achilles heel there, but what can you do?
positioning from Zuna could use some more. There's a lot of stuff Zuna could work on. But what I think, what happens, so let's say hypothetical situation. Let's say Cloud9 increases individual skill level to where they can actually compete like in laning phase, and they're actually able to like put up a fight. Where does that leave them for season 4 or even season 5, where they're sitting at like a higher individual skill level? Do you think that at that point they can compete with Korean teams, or are they still behind on the
Okay.
international stage?
There's another factor into this because even if you're not confident beating a team, there are strategies you can make to cheese them, like Xenix did to Frost in the OGN Club Masters. They brought out Cinch and Wally Bear and just won the game in 17 minutes, just completely cheese them.
So,
So-
Cloud9 could cheese worlds.
Yeah, anybody can.
Theoretically.
Anybody can.
So we could
Is this
see some cheese.
I like
Yeah, possibly.
We could see a 9 pool, a 4 gate. Oh, wrong gate. Sorry.
And so, okay, going back to your hypothetical, like what happens if Cloud9 matches the world other teams in mechanical skill, like during laning phase, right? Then it comes down to team compositions and team strategies that you're running at the moment. Because the top like 4 Korean teams are all about equal and mechanical skill, and what differentiates them is like what type of compositions and what type of team strategies that they're running. Like for example, like in Cloud9, what they do is they group up for team fights and they push turrets and dive turrets, right? That's pretty much like what everyone expects from them. From Korean teams, like you see something like pick comps with Nocturne Ari or split push with like Shen and Zed, et cetera, et cetera. So at that like level of play, it's not just about the players like playing to their utmost potential as far as like mechanically goes in lane, but running these different types of strategies to counter each other. And so it's like higher level mind games than anything else.
Yeah, like I agree with what you said like about the top 4 in Korea. In Korea, they're same mechanically, but if you look at the teams, they all have different styles. Like especially like SKT, who's super aggressive. They based on making flashy plays, getting early lead in laning phase, while other teams like Ozone are not about that. They like to let their team grow. They like to pick late game champions like Vayne and carry through mid game and late.
Okay, let's talk about SKT1, Ozone, and the other qualifier from Korea.
Yeah,
Naji.
nice,
Oh, so it's Kimchi League time.
nice
Yeah.
segue. And
I saw it and I took it. It was there.
yeah, nice. Pro
Right back to
editions.
Kimchi League. Fantastic.
Okay.
Hey, you're not allowed to say that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Racist.
I'm not Asian.
Racist.
God damn. I got baited and outsmarted.
Damn it, League.
Sorry.
Okay, so
I'll
the
get
top
that.
3 teams is Northern Sword, who has 600 points. They're number 1, and they get to free bye to the quarterfinals, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the second place is Ozone, who's in Group B, and SKT1, who won Champion Summer, and got enough points to be for 3rd place after they won.
And
So-
they're in Group A.
Yeah,
Beating
but they still had
KT twice.
They still had to go through the brutal gauntlet, which is CJ Frost, CJ Blaze, and KT Bullets. Since they're 3rd, they only had to play one set to get into Worlds, right? So after KT lost to SK in the finals, KT had to play a forced 5th place match against Frost, which they lost. That means you have to go through from the bottom of the gauntlet, back up, and face SKT again and beat them to make it to Worlds. They destroyed Blaze 3-0. They banned out Flames, Aurelia, and Jax since they were so popular right now with the new Triforce, and completely crushed Blaze. And then they completely crushed Frost the day after, another 3-0. KT has back-to-back defeated both of the CJ teams, which has been known as the best 2 teams in Korea for the past year. Right, Auburn?
Yep, just about.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so then they ended up facing SKT1 in the Korean regional qualifiers. Like, their whole path to this was exactly the same as in OG and Summer's Champions. Just kind of funny. And then, like, I'd say, honestly, the highlight of all those games is just Piglet playing to, like, an insane level. Like, honestly, I think throughout this summer season, he's been the highlight of the team rather than Faker. Because although you see Faker making all these plays, it's usually like Piglet that comes in and cleans up. And he actually ended up the season with like, I think
Like the highest KDA.
Yeah, he had like 22 more kills than Faker, which is pretty astonishing since you expect like Faker to be the one farming champions rather than minions. But he does both well, actually.
Well, it's funny because Piglet almost wanted to leave because Koma was scolding him so much for practicing and getting better, and he definitely stepped up. Like, I liked Piglet in the last season, in the spring season. I thought he was good, but this season he stepped up so hard and carried SKT in so many games. Like, his mechanics are incredible.
Yeah.
He's so aggressive in laying it with Vayne. It's amazing.
Like the same progression in his play is sort of like what Dandy was back in like winter season. Like, he saw like flashes of brilliance, and then he just like kind of see it bloom all together right now.
So is he like a Korean double lift?
Well, no, Imp is because Imp used to be known as Double Imp. People call him
Yeah.
that because his mechanics.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm proud to say that I used to watch We Need a Poo when I was younger, and that lane makes me happy.
I think you're the only one that ever watched Winnie the Pooh when you were a little kid.
The only one in the world.
Yes. It's actually made for Charlie.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about Samsung Galaxy Ozone, or whatever they're called now.
Oh, they just got a new sponsorship. Which is pretty
Yeah.
neat.
Rumored they paid $500,000 for that sponsorship.
Wow.
It's a pretty big
So,
sponsorship.
rumors. Don't know. Just
Big
rumors.
deal.
I like rumors
Big
swirling.
Yeah,
I
we're
mean-
TMZ, don't you forget.
But the thing is, if Samsung loses to give up either a game to any of the NA teams or EU teams, I'm gonna switch phones. I'm gonna switch phones. I'm not gonna have a Samsung. Screw that.
Wow.
That's how confident you are with them.
What if they win? Are you gonna buy a new phone?
I actually have an iPhone.
Good man.
Did you guys
I mean,
read
if they
the
win
Reddit
Worlds,
thread?
I'll switch. If they win Worlds, I'll switch to Samsung.
It's a return on investment right there.
Right?
That's the beauty of sponsorships.
They know what's up. Just
Did
no
you guys
pressure.
read the Reddit thread where it said that Cloud9 should get an Apple sponsorship and then be
Yeah.
named iCloud9?
That's hilarious.
If that happens, I'm
I was
definitely
so
not
happy.
anymore.
Oh man. I would totally nerd out. Shall we? So, are we done talking about PMG League. Shall we move
Yep.
on?
I think we are.
Okay, so let's talk about then the final
Egg roll
heat.
league.
Yeah.
Oh god. God dang
Thank
it.
you, Charlie. For that.
LPL, hooray.
Yeah, there we go.
Egg roll.
LPL.
All right. The two teams coming from the egg roll league is OMG and Royals. Okay, you can look at it this way if you don't know who MG are. OMG is basically the Cloud9 version in NA.
Yeah.
They've been
Right.
dominating their circuit, their bracket, and their top team. But in the finals for the Worlds, they placed second. They lost to the Royals, which is a conspiracy because they threw the game on purpose to get a easier
Tinfoil
bracket.
hat.
Really?
Yeah,
I
that's
have
what I
heard
heard.
that.
Do you
I
really?
read about that.
I definitely
After-
believe it's true.
After watching
I
the
can see
games, it's a little shaky, to be honest. It was
Okay,
questionable.
well, the thing is, yeah, exactly. The thing is, if they got into group stages, they completely avoid all the big threats, which are Ozone and SKT1. They avoid them for the They avoid them for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that's
Right.
okay.
They play against SKT1 in group stages though, right? Because they're in Group A now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but okay. But the group A consists of Lemon Dogs, SKT1, TSM,
TSM,
OMG,
Gaming
and
Gear.
GGEU.
Yeah.
Like the chances of them getting out is really high.
Right.
Only team I see that can maybe take games off of them besides SKT is probably Lemon Dogs. Probably 1-1 Lemon Dogs at the worst case scenario. But I'm definitely sure they'll still get out.
So it'll be SKT1 OMG advancing from Group A.
Did you survey monkey this?
Did you say Ray Monkey this, Charlie?
Did you survey make it? No.
Wow, maybe survey monkey this, Charlie.
Well, let's
I
talk
did-
about Royals before we go into our Worlds brackets.
yeah.
Because they're
Okay.
a pretty interesting team with their signature support Annie, if I remember right.
Oh yeah. Support Annie.
Charlie?
So
He's survey
Support
monkey.
Annie. Oh.
yeah, he's doing a
busy.
Survey Monkey.
Yeah, what about
Oh.
it? Yeah. I did my survey. Everybody should do their survey.
I just
if you
did
want
my
to win.
survey.
Everybody do it because you can win a Cloud9 poster with all the autographs. They might even win Worlds. You don't even know.
Is that what? We're not giving that away.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
what?
We're giving RP.
You were
away.
so bad.
Oh,
God,
I
Charlie.
lied, guys.
It's
I lied.
RP. If
Yeah,
RP.
this is an RP giveaway.
let's take
Oh.
this.
Better.
Let's take this moment to clear up what Charlie's mess just did. So if you take this survey. So Survey Monkey, if you match, so if you pick the two teams that are advancing on from Group A and Group B, you are entered into a raffle, and if you win that raffle, you can win RP from us, Cloth5. How much
I
we
believe it's a
love you.
$25 RP gift card.
It
'cause I
is a
believe I'm
$25
buying this.
RP gift card from League, but from all of us here at Cloth5. So Survey
I
Monkey
paid
it up.
most of it.
All right.
God,
But there's a
Charlie.
survey. So where's the survey? Can we link the survey in the Twitch chat? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we can do that again.
Let's do that again.
Someone
It's
link
also
it.
in the Reddit post, and we will link it again.
Okay, but to clarify, we are giving away C9 posters with all the autograph later.
It is later, but it's signed by the
Yes.
entire team.
Yes.
So if
So
they
we-
win,
So it does
Is it
exist.
signed by
I'm not
Jack?
Crazy.
That's all that matters. If it's signed by Jack, I'm in.
yes.
Do we know? It is signed by Jack?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna
Oh,
say
okay.
yes.
Okay.
I'm just going
we'll
to
go
say
with
yes.
Yes.
Then I think Sky is automatically gonna try this. Anyway, so since we're still over here during the LPL, OMG, we think purposely threw games that we're gonna get into Group A.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
it is
if
signed by
you
Jack, you're right.
if you look at the quarterfinals bracket, it's what who Cloud9, Najin Black Sword,
Gamina?
Bears.
Yeah.
Bears, Gumnea Bears, and
Vulcan, right?
No,
No.
Vulcan's in group stages.
Vulcan.
They're
Who
Group
else?
B.
Who else?
Najin Black Sword.
He said
I said
Najin.
Najin Black Sword. I said three
Or-
teams. And Royals. And Royals. Right.
Yeah.
The big threats. Okay, the teams we predicted that was gonna win Worlds a couple weeks ago are all pretty much all in the group stages, right? So if you go
Right.
through the group stages, you're not gonna have to go through them again, fight any of them again till semifinals, and that's why they're doing that.
Okay. So did you watch those games, Charlie? Because I know I was sitting around watching some of these. What did you think of OMG's play? I mean, like, besides the fact that we think they were intentionally throwing, were they really, like, up to snuff these last games, or did we think they were below standard?
In the first game, they were tower diving. Royals bot lane, right? To try to take try taking the hib. They traded 2 for 5, and then the rest of them just died to the tower. Just stood there and died, attacking minions. Like, he misclicked the tower and attacked minions, and all 3 of them just died from tower. Like, at that level, you shouldn't be making a mistake like that. It has to be on purpose.
Okay, so we think that they're all performing understandable, but it's not because of the fact that OMG played badly. It's because of the fact that they threw.
Like, watch the day before they 2-0'd IG. Like, it was incredible.
Right. They play very well. I'm not
Yeah.
not going to try and argue that one. So they go into group stages. They're playing in Group A. Royals is automatically going through to quarterfinals. We have SKT1, Lemon Dogs, TSM, and
GG
Gaming
EU.
Gear EU, along with OMG in Group A. All right, guys, it's prediction time. Who's getting out of Group A? I'm going with SKT1, and then I'm going to go with OMG.
Me
Nice.
too.
That's the easy group. I'm pretty sure we're all just going to unanimously agree. SKT1 and OMG are going to get away from this group. And then TSM, Lemon Dogs, and Gaming Gear are probably going home in group stage, unfortunately.
I'm doing an outlier here. I'm gonna support TSM. I don't know I know realistically it's laughable.
I don't want to work for Cloth5 anymore.
However,
I'm done. I surrender.
you
and
people have faith. Okay. So that's my prediction. Because miracles. I don't know.
Even our NA analyst Mango does not believe this.
Even our NA
Can't believe-
analyst over there is going.
I would love to
After what I've seen, it's
I
hard.
would love to see them go on, which is why I'm like, all right, guys, you can take it. So it's nothing based in logic whatsoever. It's just-
I ain't going to
Chickens
count them out, but I'm still going to call SKT1. and
yeah,
OMG.
you're probably right. I'm not.
Hey, Mango,
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
What up?
So, for TSM, how do you think they're going to perform? Like, how many games do you think they're going to take off? from other
Let's see,
people?
how many games is group stages? It's 2 each, so
2
8
games each.
games.
Yeah.
I think TSM can muster 4-4. I think they can.
Yeah, I did
Honestly,
too. That's what
I
my
think they
guess
can be. I think they can beat Lemon Dogs twice. I think they'll take a game off
Whoa.
Gaming Gear and lose a game of Gaming Gear, and then I think
Whoa.
they'll take a game off either SKT1 or Ozone and go 0-2 against the other one. That's what I think TSM is going to fare in their group stage. They'll go 4-4.
I would be
But they-
shocked if you called everything. Actually, I wouldn't be shocked. I would.
Okay,
Very. impressed.
and it really depends on how much study they do. Like, if they really study about gaming GGEU, I'm really sure they can take 2 games off of them. With Lemon Dogs, I say 1-1, and then 0-2 against the China teams, the Chinese team and the
Yeah, I'm
Korean team.
surprised we underrate Lemon
So
Dogs
3-5?
so much, guys.
Well, so here's the thing, though. We
Yeah.
go back to the whole experience thing about the TSM has 4 members who have been
True.
in all 3 worlds. That counts for something. And people don't realize that there's a lot of pressure going into these games, and lots of people are watching, and pressure affects people differently. And that's why I kind of I get that there are people that are technically better than TSM in Group A, but I think that their experience makes up for a lot, is my personal opinion. So that's why
I
I'm
would
like,
agree. Lemon Dogs has never been on an international stage.
no, there's GGEU. I don't know about SK or
SKT1's been around. I have no problems with
right.
SK.
Okay, but
SKT1's only been around like spring.
Since-
they
yeah,
formed
since
like
spring.
February. Yeah.
right. And I think they have one member who's been to a world. I want to say. I think I'm wrong.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so I'm
No,
wrong.
so-
But so
Those are all
TSM has a lot of
friends.
experience on their side, so which is why I'm like, me.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Right.
probably why
Um,
people expect them to do a little bit better than Lemon Dogs, just because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lemon Dogs has never
Collectively.
competed on an international stage, at all. They've never been to a Worlds or anything before, and then
See,
TSM has 3 under their
I'm
belt.
not,
So.
I'm not underrating Lemon Dogs like the chest is saying. It just the fact I'm so confident the other teams are just better than them.
We're not saying any of the teams in the world are bad, because obviously they've proven
Well-
they're the best 14 teams in the world.
And
There's
I've been
no
doing
debating that.
research on Lemon Dogs, and they play a lot of very similar comps. They play a lot of AoE-centric teamfight comps. Like Kennen is a very popular pick, Sona is a very popular pick, Jarvan is consistently picked. And so I think if they would if TSM manages to find a way to disengage and/or create a pick comp that's based around picking off members of Lemon Dogs, I have no problem with them taking games off Lemon Dogs.
Yeah, but how often does TSM play pick comps? They usually play like full.
Well,
full
more
on
importantly,
versus
all
five
three of those champions that were just listed off, those are all like fairly signature heroes for TSM. Like Odd One's Jarvan plays that
Right.
a lot. Reginald is known for Cannon. He plays that, and then Especial Sona. It's probably the best
Well, yeah,
one in NA.
Dexter's style is very similar to Odd One's. Dexter's top 3 champions
Well-
are Jarvan, Lee Sin, Elise. And other than the Lee Sin, like Odd One plays Elise, Jarvan, Nasus.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me.
There's
see,
gonna be a
one
lot of
thing-
fighting picks.
One thing the Koreans do better than the other regions are one, they have better war coverage. They were much better. They have better vision control in general, all stages throughout the game. And two, they have better lane rotations. Like, they make strategies at level 1 to figure out where the enemy laner, top, and bot are going, and they play according to that. Like, a lot of teams does this in Korea. Like, they're really good at... They'll commit into switching, like, 3-4 times till they get to the lane they want.
Right.
So I hate to butt in here. Shark Chaser has a question. How is C9 able to keep pressure under control? Pressures.
Like, to keep the pressure from affecting them?
That's what the question said. I'm not sure.
Okay, okay. No, like, that's a valid question, because, like, besides, like, they've played, like, High Elimination, have played together for a long time, but they haven't really played outside of LCS much. But I think a lot of keeping the pressure off them is going to have to go on Jack, because Jack used to be the manager of TSM, or GM of TSM, whatever you want to call it. So he has experience with a bigger team that's been in more high-pressure situations. So hopefully he can just take his knowledge from his time in TSM's organization and bring it to Cloud9.
Well, see,
I
the
think they
thing
just
is...
played very casually.
The thing is,
I
if I was C9 going to Worlds, I'd be like, if I take one game off a team, the Asian team, I'm better than anybody else in NA. GG.
True.
That's all I
Very-
need to do. Just take one
Other
game.
than,
Just one
other than
game.
CLG, you're not better than CLG. CLG beats Asian teams. I mean, throwing that out there. Anyway, I think the reason Cloud9 is so good at making sure that they stay at least somewhat calm under pressure is simply because of the fact that they don't really play like super 100% seriously. Like during the Vulcan game where they were ridiculously behind by like 10k at the 20-minute mark or whatever. Like they cut to a clip of High and he was just like laughing his ass off. Like the dude was cracking up. And it's the fact that like even under pressure and even when they're way behind, the fact that they can still laugh and still work as a team makes Cloud9 a very strong contender in
Okay,
terms of keeping
But
pressure.
there's no pressure during that game,
The
though. They
power of
could
friendship.
have lost all those games the last week, and they still would have been first place. Like, there was no pressure.
No, no, no. This
Well, that
is the
wasn't-
game that was
wasn't
like
last week. That was like
week 5
midway
or
through
week
the
6 or
season.
something.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking
That was the
about
game with the big
last-
TF throw. No, 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 no. That.
Yeah.
Well, those games mattered, but that's a different story.
Oh my god.
Let's take a pause here. Can somebody? I'll link the survey again for the new people that are coming in here. Hello, new people. Survey. We're calling worlds. Who's gonna make it out of Group A and B, and what world is gonna shake up to be like? Take our survey. If you happen to match us in our predictions, you'll be entered into a raffle, and if you were picked from the raffle, you'll win $25 worth of RP from Daniel League. Don't call me Lemon Lamond.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, while we're linking the server and stuff, we should probably move over to Group B. So we
Yes.
spent a decent amount of time in Group A.
Nice, dude. Mango with the segue.
All right. Group B, I'm saying Samsung Galaxy, Ozone, and Fnatic. Bam.
Ah.
What
Yep.
am I saying? I forget what I'm
saying Fnatic.
saying. I think I'm saying Ozone and Vulcan. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Nice, nice.
What about you, Charlie?
Mineski gonna win Worlds.
Oh my
I
God.
believe in Kaminsky, man.
God dang
No,
it.
okay. After what I've seen, because I've been studying them for
Oh god.
most of the weekend, Minsky is a pretty newer league team. Like, they have only been around since... Their current roster has only been together since March.
Okay, but you have to realize that basically 99% of teams in GPL is like shit. I mean, TPA, before they got new members, they won 27-1 in the spring season. Like, other
What did
teams...
Cloud9 again?
TPA, what?
What did
I don't know.
Cloud9 go again this season?
You're the
Whatever,
NA. You're the NA guy, please.
25-3.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
they
went-
won 27-1. Like, there have been games they just trolled. Like, there's one game they won 4 supports and 180 and an 80 carry, and they destroyed SGS. Like,
That was the best game ever, by the way.
that was an awesome game. 4 supports and 1 and 80 carry. Um, but the thing is, like, you can't compare the teams to each other because they're so bad in the GPL. They're so far behind. But if you compare it globally, it's pretty bad. But I'm gonna say Ozone and Fnatic also, unless Gambit manages to be Fnatic.
Hmm.
Don't
Mm,
believe
I'd say the
Yeah.
wild card in the group
Wow.
is definitely Gambit Gaming because
yeah.
I'm sure like people have like spouted this like so many times, but they have never placed like below top 4 in an international tournament, and so they have like a lot of land experience going into this. The thing is though, I'm not sure how they're playing without Edward.
Why
Like,
is
things got really bad. What do you say?
So you
Why
guys,
is
I
Seika
want
telling
you
me
to take your shirt off.
decade?
I don't know.
If you throw out a number in
Why?
chat, I might do it.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
We're just getting spammed. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Success.
Just
You're bad.
calm down. Just calm down.
Stay
Yeah, and so anyways, I think they're the wild card coming out of that. I think that either them or Fnatic, along with Ozone, is going to be the 2 teams to make it out of group stages. So, why do you think Vulcan is coming out of there, Mango?
Yeah.
Why do I think Vulcan's coming out of there? I believe Vulcan's coming out of there because Group B is very like heavy on mid laners. Like they have the 2 European teams which are known for their mid laners, and Ozone has one of the best mid laners in the world, arguably. So I think ManCloud can compete in this group, and I think that's going to be a really defining factor. Like a lot of teams are going to be looking to their mid lane to keep this game in check, and I think ManCloud is both technically and okay, no, he's just the best mid NA. I'm just gonna say it. ManCloud is the best mid NA. I don't really think that's up for debate. And I think he can compete and shut down the 2 year. I think he can compete with Pecky. I think he can compete with AlexH, and I think they can shut down the European teams because their mid laners won't be as dominant as they used to, and I don't think the rest of the teams can pick up the slack comparatively. That's why I think Vulcan can get out of group stage.
As far as lane matchup goes, I think that he'll actually do pretty good against Dade from Ozone.
Okay, but the thing is, if you look at the teams as a bigger picture, Vulcan has like what? Their mid laner and top laner are good. We all know that. Their
X-Macy's
jungles, X-Macy, but I wouldn't say he's like world tier, like top tier jungler, right? I would say he's good. He's top NA, but I wouldn't say he's top world. And their bot lane is their weakness. Agree?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Then you,
the bot
then you
lane
look
is
at
Achilles
then
heel.
you look at Ozone.
Well, specifically Zuna. Like Bloodwater is a solid player, solid shot caller, solid
Yeah.
support.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, what makes me really interesting between the 2 teams is Dandy is the captain for Ozone, while Bloodwater is the captain for and the shot caller for Vulcan. I always believe that a team would succeed more if the shot callers are from Dandy and if a shot callers from the jungler or the support. So I really like that about both teams. But if you look at Ozone, they have a lot more threats. Like Imp and Mata is probably one of the best dual lanes in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's,
One of the
Okay.
deadliest.
And then you look Dandy, who's amazing at what he does. He plays so many different champions, from late game carries to early assassin, aggressive in lane. He gets solo kills all the time in lane. And then you have Home, who isn't really someone who can carry the game, but he is definitely consistent, right? He plays tanky champions, initiates. He doesn't always crush the lane, but he doesn't often lose. And then you have Dandy, who's just a monster in the jungle. Especially if he gets champion like Lee Sin or Elise. I don't see Vulcan making the game over the 20-25 minutes.
right. Well, fortunately for Vulcan, they don't have to beat Ozone 2 times to get out of the group stage. If they do well against the other teams, like I think they will. Like, I don't think they're like, gonna scrap with them, but I think they can beat the European teams, and I think they can beat Meninsky and get out of the group second.
I would agree.
And when you go back to like ManCloud and Psycho Sid, he is definitely like an old school, almost hotshot GG style top laner where he just plays tanks and he's just like the front line for the team. Like he doesn't really play a lot of threatening top laners. He plays like Shen attack. Just like typical NA stuff.
The biggest
So-
problem I have with Vulcan is their bot lane. Because
it's-
bot lanes are game changers. We've seen that from everywhere from OMG to SKT1 to KT Rolster B and everywhere in between. Bot lanes can win games. Vulcan's bot lane, specifically their AD carry, what should be one of the strongest roles when it comes to mid to late game, is easily one of the weakest in North America. And when paired up against teams like SKT1 and Samsung Galaxy Ozone, they're going to run into problems.
Right. They're going to run into problems if they make it to the Group 8. I think
Because Zuna's positioning is abysmal. If you have watched any of the games where Zuna attempts to do
not
anything,
good.
his positioning is that of a platinum level player. Consistently out of position, consistently mispacing himself in team fights. He puts out damage, sure, but he doesn't know how to do anything when it comes to getting into late game in terms of positioning, and so he consistently gets blown up. That's not what you want to do. The reason Double Lift is known so well is because of the fact that he knows how to position and he places pressure on the enemy team when it gets to late game.
right.
Man Cloud is
Vulcan,
fantastic.
I think Vulcan doesn't get crushed in bot lane. Like Zuna doesn't get crushed because if you watch, whenever Zuna plays a 2v2 lane, like against the enemy team, he's almost consistently behind in farm.
Right.
And that's why the Ashe Zyra works really well for Vulcan, because they don't have to rely on his damage, they just have to rely on his initiation.
Right. That's why I'm
Which is
saying,
same
like,
thing with Cloud9.
that's why I believe Vulcan can get out, because Vulcan, with the Ashe Zyra comps, that will probably get banned out, but if they get it, like, I think it's on ManCloud to carry the game. Vulcan they play very European style in NA, and they're going to be against European teams, and I think they can out-Euro the European teams to get out of the group stage.
I think so too. I think they're going to come up with a problem against everywhere else. I mean,
No.
really.
But I think they can play the European meta with the high farm mid being like the real carry on the team. I think they can do that, and I think they can beat the European teams.
Awesome.
That's why I think they can get out.
If they do, I wouldn't say I'd be surprised, but it would be a very strong effort from Team Vulcan.
Yes. They have to be on their A game to pull it off.
I would be very pleasantly surprised if they did.
Oh, we're relinking the survey. Hello and
I mean,
welcome.
I don't think it's impossible. I just think it's
Sort of
unlikely.
tough.
Especially like Ozone's gonna make out 100%. There's no
Yeah.
doubt Ozone's gonna make out.
Yeah.
Duh.
That would be a pretty big meltdown if they didn't.
This
make
is
it.
such
Yeah.
good coffee.
Are you still
It's the most
Drink
delicious
Pepsi
coffee.
out of a mug.
Doesn't
This is
count
such-
if it doesn't count as coffee if there's no coffee in it, Charlie.
There's no proof. It's brown.
Okay,
Brown
so
it's brown.
Wow.
so we're pretty much unanimous on SK or Ozone coming out, and then
Yeah.
everyone else
The
said Fnatic,
second
and I said
place is-
Vulcan. I
yeah.
think.
I said Fnatic. I think Fnatic's world championship experience, will definitely aid them.
I agree. Same thing that I said about TSM. But
I agree.
Yeah.
I disagree with TSM. No.
yeah, I know.
No
I know.
chance. No chance.
We know.
Realistically, no chance. But
TSM also arguably though has the harder bracket.
they
Yeah,
in
do.
they're
terms
in
of
that is a death pool.
I
yeah,
don't envy
you're
them.
looking at SKT1, OMG, and then Lemon Dogs arguably.
What was with the Lemon Dogs?
Okay, they play really well, man. Ever since they got rid of We Will Failure, Mythia's 5-0 by the way on Sona for the summer split, undefeated on Sona. I don't know how.
I am also undefeated on undefeated or defeated. I always get them confused. Which is the one where you fail?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna soda my way
Yeah.
to bronze 5. That'd be great.
Okay.
Oh, God. Slowly on your way to Cloth5.
Ah,
Huh?
So
Oh my
are we gonna do top 4 prediction?
let's do top
Top
4
four?
then, shall we?
Let's do
Alright.
top 4, and then let's go ahead and round this out.
That sounds like a great plan.
So we're going to go around the giant circle of happiness, starting with none other than Mr. Adrian Oberyn Montenegro. Top 4, Mr. Montenegro.
Start at 4. Don't
Start
slow
at 4?
Yeah, start at 4, and then we have to count it down.
and work up.
I think.
Okay.
I think you shouldn't do that because top 4 is really close. You should. I think it'll be a toss-up. Like there isn't
Yeah.
like
Well,
one or
you
two
can do a
teams you
toss-up.
know who's gonna get like first. Or
Well, that
second
makes
place.
it all the better then. Like that's the entire point.
Okay, just let me talk.
Alright.
Let me talk.
Okay, go.
Top 4. It's gonna be Fnatic, OMG, Ozone, and SKT1. That's what I have for my top 4. I heard it. Who was that from? Was that from Charlie?
Yeah.
I think it was from Charlie. Okay, you
Charlie?
say yours.
Charlie. All right, Charlie. Who's your top 4?
No, I'll wait.
He
No,
doesn't
you're
know
next
it.
anyway. Unless you want to go last. You can go
I
last.
need time. It's like ordering
Okay.
food in the dinner. I need time. Do me last.
All right, Mango. Who's your top 4?
I got Cloud9 NA 4th place.
Oh
I got
god.
Royal China 3rd place. Got SKT1 Korea 2nd place. And taking it all, Samsung Galaxy Ozone Korea
Wow.
1st place. So we're gonna have all
Mhm.
Korea 5.
All right, Lindsay. Who's your top 4?
I sadly have to echo Mango. I'm completely unoriginal, but I think Cloud9 won't even. Yeah. But I do think Ozone, and SK will be up there. So those are my echoing Mango.
All right.
I know.
All right.
So
I'm
comprehensive.
thinking 4th place is going to be Fnatic. I'm thinking 3rd place is going to be Samsung Galaxy Ozone. I'm thinking 2nd place is going to be OMG. And I'm thinking 1st place is going to be SKT1.
Everyone
Hey,
calling SK.
you are such a liar.
I'm calling Ozone.
On your preview sheet,
You and me,
the
buddy.
Daniel Lemon, you put TSM as number 1. You were such a liar.
That's okay.
yeah.
That's okay.
That's okay. I put Gamania Bears as number 16 through 2, and then number 1 that's none other than TSM.
Very good.
It's
Charlie's
okay.
got Singapore.
I
Gamania
got
Bears is going to
SGS.
win it
I
all.
got SGS for the road.
Yeah.
Tell us what your actual top 4 is, and please enlighten
Okay,
us.
What's your top
Waiters-
4?
Waiter is waiting.
Okay. All right. I think number 4 will be Nitrogen Black Sword. Depending on who they face in the quarterfinals, I think they can get number 4. And then 3rd will be OMG. And 1st and 2nd will either be Ozone or SKT.
You have
Yeah,
no
pick-
faith in Europe or North America. I'm ashamed of you.
No, I think I made it clear I have no faith in NA. Like I can say that without being racist because I'm Asian. You guys
Is
can't.
that what it
So
is?
I
yeah.
wish I could say
Oh,
that.
God.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, Cloud9 could step up and play against these international teams well, or they could just totally implode. I have no idea.
Like
Cloud9
top
is
3
just
is really
surprised.
top 3 is really a toss up for me. I can't even decide.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna put any
I-
NA or EU teams top 3. Like the closest I think is you'll get 4 or 5. It's gonna be Fnatic or like a Cloud9 or something.
Yeah.
Someone high level.
Like I can see Fnatic being 4th. I can definitely see that.
Right. So for that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are finished with our podcast for the day. We have hit everything we want to talk about, including our ever so famous top 4.
And we just started to
Um,
get viewers. Great.
I know, and 150 people show up and they're like, "It's over."
Can we like play Hammer or something for the next 10 minutes to get more viewers?
They just heard that we're giving away RP, and they're like, okay, we're here
Yeah,
for that.
That's
oh,
how you
RP give- oh, I'm coming. We could stream a game.
We could stream a game.
Or not.
Wait, are we-
We'll end the podcast here, and then if we decide to stream, we'll reopen. So then that way, people are like, this is a podcast."
The podcast.
So,
Wait, wait,
ladies and gentlemen, my name is Daniel Lee Lamond, and I am joined here by my co-hosts Rick Mango Riley, Adrian Over Montenegro, Charlie Lipsy, and Lindsay Amoral Ferguson.
Immoral,
/Beatron.
god damn it.
So-
Apparently, I just got word from the upper staff that we have to do this again right now.
Do what again?
No!
That's
Another
again?
podcast? Podcast
Do it
number
just-
2.
do the podcast again.
We could still talk about
God.
stuff. There's
Is
still
that
more.
from CI? Don't believe
God dang
CI.
it. Shout outs to our sponsors, Good Gaming or Gold Gaming LA, GG
Gold
LA.
Gaming.
I say Good Gaming. God dang it. GG LA and our new
Screw
sponsor,
it.
Power Clothing. Thanks to them now for sponsoring Cloth5 and the website. Thanks for all you guys for tuning into the podcast for this week. We're glad to have you here. We will try and
Yes.
make a more consistent recording every Tuesday, I believe, is where we will be setting this up every Tuesday morning. So
If
for
my
everyone,
shirt from Power Clothing comes back and says Charlie Lipsy, I'm gonna quit. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Charlie Lipsy, Cloth5 podcast host.
Charlie,
That'd be
don't call me
fantastic.
Charlie Lipsy.
Very
I'm gonna like. Not
Anyway,
even-
thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day. And this is Cloth5 Crew signing off.